I welcome you to the Maryah Revelation Ministry. We are a prophetic end time ministry dedicated to preparing the way for the coming of our Lord and King, our Savior, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And today we are dedicating our message to a question. It's a prophetic question. Can we flee Babylon? And the answer is yes, we can. When we have the mindset, we can flee in Babylon. It's important to flee Babylon because Revelation 18 verse 4 is very clear. You are required to flee Babylon so that you do not partake of the plagues that will be inflicted on Babylon. We've done discussions on that, and today I'm giving you a message, and the message is that yes, we can leave Babylon, we can flee Babylon, and we are looking at it from two angles. Um, those who are outside of Babylon, is it possible for them to flee Babylon? And number two, those who are already inside Babylon, is it possible to flee Babylon? And in both cases, we say yes, yes, we can. Those who are outside Babylon will be able to flee Babylon. It's possible to flee Babylon. And some people believe that Babylon is very powerful. She has spread her tentacles all over the globe, political tentacles, economic tentacles, military power. Babylon, United States, has more military bases, over 800 military bases all over the world, and that is her instrument of conquering and domination. Is able to use bully tactics and tactics of elimination to spread her tentacles on a global scale. And the Bible will remember the prophecy in Revelation 18 says that God will remember the iniquities of Babylon, and for that reason, Babylon will be destroyed. And I believe the United States is the Babylon spoken of in the book of Revelation. And the question we're asking is, can we flee Babylon? And some people believe that it's not possible because, after all, Babylon has a domineering influence over the world, culturally, politically, militarily, and it has the weapons of subjugation. So you cannot flee Babylon, even when you are outside of Babylon. And so I'm leaving a video in the description box, and the video is about a president, the president from Zambia, who is leading his country to flee Babylon. Zambia is an African country, and the president was making a speech in Zambia, and he said, "I am no wife to anyone. I'm not somebody's wife." The president is a man, and he's making a speech, and he's saying he's not a wife to anybody. What does it mean? It means that, unlike Babylon, America, where a cabinet minister will come, a man will come and will introduce another man as his wife, or where a bishop, Bishop Allen, a man in America, will introduce another man as his wife or husband. The president of Zambia is saying that he's a man and he's not a wife to somebody. He's a man and he's happily married to a woman consistent with the principles of scriptures. And he was telling his people in Zambia that there are so many things that they can agree with Babylon. When we say Babylon, we're talking about the Gentile powers, the heathen nations. There are so many things where the children of God can agree with them. On a scale of 1 to 10, probably they may be able to agree with them up to the scale of 9. But there's one thing that Africans and also the children of God, true children of God, true Christian, not the hypocrites. I'm talking about true Christians. There's one thing that they will not compromise. And I'm talking about the president of Zambia. He said they cannot, Africans cannot. And he also said Christians cannot compromise on LGBT. And he said LGTB. And I think he changed it. But it doesn't matter whether it's LGBT or LTGB, whatever is the same. Is the culture that is a rebellious culture, rebelling against God, as the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah rebelled against God. So the president of Zambia rather, made a speech that he is not somebody's wife. He cannot be somebody's wife. So the question we're asking, can we flee from Babylon? The president of Zambia is saying that yes, we can flee from Babylon. We may decide to agree with them on a lot of issues, but on the issue of same-sex marriage, on the issue of sodomy, on the issue of homosexuality, Africans, and he also said Christians cannot agree with Babylon, even Babylon, America. And so it's possible that we can flee from Babylon, even those who are outside the jurisdiction of Babylon, America, people in Africa, in Asia, all parts of the world, the people in Zambia representing the proud African people, representing the proud Negroes scattered over the world. And the president is saying that no to LGBT, and he cannot be somebody's wife. Definitely, and that's not the case in Babylon. And he said that Babylon can do whatever they want to do, but Africans and Christians cannot accept LGBT. They cannot partake of the sins of Babylon, or even Babylon, America, because if they do, they will receive the plagues that are intended only for Babylon. There's a special judgment intended, targeted for only Babylon. But unfortunately, as the angel warns in Revelation 18, verse 4, if you make a mistake or if you are stupid to partake in the sins of Babylon, then you will also receive the plagues of Babylon. And Revelation 18, verse 5 is very clear that heaven has remembered the iniquities of Babylon in the same way that heaven remembered the iniquities of Sodom and Gomorrah, and Elohim destroyed the sinful cities of Sodom and Gomorrah in the same way that Elohim is going to destroy the sinful and sodomite city of Babylon, and that destruction is decreed in Revelation chapter 18. So it's possible that people who are outside of Babylon, even though Babylon, America, has spread its tentacles over the world, yes, we can. We can resist Babylon. And Africans are showing that they can resist Babylon as Babylon tries to spread sodomy over the world, as the Antichrist is preparing to enter the scene. And of course, America has produced the Antichrist. He is Barack Hussein Obama, the number 44th president of the United States. So we go to the other discussion. The discussion relates to those who are inside Babylon. You're already inside Babylon. You are a resident in Babylon. You live there. And the question we ask is, can you flee from Babylon? You are still inside Babylon. Can you flee from Babylon? And the answer is yes, you can. So I'm leaving another video in the description box. And that video is from a channel called Maryah Trumpet. And the title of the video is Egypt versus Babylon, the differences between Egypt and Babylon. And the lady making the presentation says that both are lands of bondage. Of course, Egypt was a land of bondage, and the Hebrew Israelites were also scattered later to another Egypt, United States, which is also a land of bondage, because Exodus 20 verse 2 describes Egypt as a land of bondage. But this presenter is saying that in Egypt it was physical bondage, but in Babylon, America, it is a land of confusion where people are being confused. Yesterday there was slavery in America, and in 1865 there was Emancipation Proclamation, and there was the 13th Amendment purportedly abolishing slavery. But lo and behold, we saw another confusion. We saw Jim Crow laws, and we saw black codes. We saw institutional racism and discrimination. And so everybody will be confused. Oh, didn't they set slaves free in 1865? Yes, they did. But how come the Negroes don't have the right to vote? How come they have to wait until 1964 before somebody would think of signing a Civil Rights Act? It's a land of confusion. And the person says that yes, if you live in Babylon, still you can flee from Babylon. And how do you flee from Babylon? You flee from the sins of Babylon, the music, the entertainment system, and the songs that are sung, the music, the industry, the entertainment industry, the rituals that go with it, the sinful relics of the songs, whether it's rap, whether it's high life music, whether it's reggae music. And she suggests that, yeah, you can flee from that sinful music by not watching it, by not hearing it, by not putting earpiece in your ears, by not playing it in your car, in your house, listening to gospel music, Christian music, music that gives spiritual nourishment to you. Yes, you can. You can avoid the sinful culture. And she's also talking about the murder and the killings going on, particularly in minority neighborhoods. Murder in the form of abortion. Can you flee from abortion? Yes, you can. Even when the heathen nations, the Gentile nations are killing, you can flee from abortion. You can flee from murder. They will entice you with money, but you can flee from murder. You can flee from the lust, the materialist culture. You can flee from Babylon when you focus on Elohim, you focus on the commandments of God. You can flee Babylon. So I'm leaving that video in the description box. A time has come for people to um, free themselves from the shackles of control. And it is not the economic and political control that I'm talking about. I'm talking about spiritual control. And you need to flee from Babylon, uh, its spiritual control. Babylon will be destroyed because of the sorceries going on, witchcraft going on in Babylon, in America, the works of magic, false gospel, satanic doctrines emanating from Babylon. You need to flee from those false doctrines, even if they are taught by people whose skin color looks like you, even if they are taught by people who are in a church, whether they are in a synagogue or they are in a church. You need to flee from them because the Lord made it clear in Revelation 2 verse 9, Revelation 3 verse 9. There are some people who say they are Jews, they are not. They are of the synagogue of Satan. In the same way, in America, even in Philadelphia, there are some churches, they are quote unquote or synagogues. They are gay synagogues, and definitely they are operated by people who are black. And you don't have to follow a false doctrine just because the perpetrator and the promoter of the false doctrine is a black person. You don't have to do that. It's all part of the culture of Babylon, and you are admonished to flee from Babylon. And so, yes, we can flee from Babylon. During the time of colonialism, the heathen nations, the Gentile powers that partitioned the land of Africa, 1884 to 1885, at the Berlin Conference, the infamous Berlin Conference. They controlled the economies of the African nations, the economies of people whose ancestors were kidnapped and taken to Egypt in fulfillment of God's prophecies in Deuteronomy 28. They controlled the economies, and somebody thought that it wouldn't be possible to free themselves from this control, the economic yoke, economic bondage. After all, in Ghana, around independence time, 1957, the first black nation to be given independence, they put economic shackles on the nation to prevent the nation from rising up, to prevent the emancipation of the first Negro African nation to get independence. And so there was an agreement between Ghana's government and a company from America, Kaiser Aluminum Company. And the contract was to install aluminum smelting facilities in Ghana to help the mining of bauxite in Ghana. And what were the terms of the agreement? The government of Ghana should not tax the American company for how many years? 99 years. 99 years. 1 year, less than a century. The American company negotiated, quote unquote, negotiated that they will operate the aluminum company in Ghana and they will have to enjoy tax-free holidays for 99 years. An agreement was signed. It was signed between Kaiser Alumina Company from United States and the government of Ghana, giving the American company 99 years to operate, to exploit the resources of Ghana without paying any taxes for 99 years. We're talking about the 1960s. Has the condition improved? Yes, the condition has improved. And so in 2024, the same country, Ghana, there's a new mineral that has been discovered, lithium. Lithium. And there's a company, I believe, from Australia, and they are coming to mine lithium. And the contract is better. It's better because this time Ghana is going to get compensation, and they will get 10%. Only 10%. And so I'm saying it's better in the sense that if they took the resources, didn't pay any compensation, probably that would be bad. But now they are paying 10. And there are some leaders who are as corrupt as hell. They are as ignorant as hell. They agree to that agreement that the company, the foreign company, should mine lithium in Ghana and pay only 10% royalty. And that is a steal. But of course, you have some leaders who are corrupt and they enjoy the exploitation from the outside world, exploitation of people, and they will collude and connive with people to destroy the earth. Revelation 11 verse 18 is very clear. The judgment will come and the Messiah will judge those who destroy the earth. And it will include those who instigated civil war in Sierra Leone or encouraged civil war in Sierra Leone, so that in the midst of the civil war, they can exploit and steal diamonds from Sierra Leone. And it was because of this exploitation and confusion and divide and rule policies that countries like Congo and Angola, they had to go through protracted civil war and unrest because they were nations that have natural resources endowed in gold, endowed in oil, but they had to be subjected to civil unrest and civil war so that the outside powers, the outside forces will be able to steal the resources of the African continent. Is it possible to free from Babylon? Yeah, it's possible, because as I'm talking, in the case of Niger, the soldiers came in and they renegotiated the agreement that they had, and as a result of the renegotiation, in the case of uranium, which is a strategic material, French companies were paying Niger less than €1 per kilogram, I believe. But as a result of the negotiation, they are now paying €200. So 0.8 euros moving ahead to €200. You can work the percentage, 0.8 as compared to 200, and you can work the percentage. And so, yes, we can free from Babylon, and we can free from the exploitation of Babylon. Times have changed, and I believe the Gentiles will operate until their time is up. After all, not long. In Africa, there were two companies that control gold and diamond. Lonho, a company owned by not Africans. They were owned by foreigners. They controlled one company. Lonho controlled the gold production in the whole continent of Africa. And another company, DBS, also controlled the production and marketing of diamonds all over Africa. Even though their monopoly has reduced, and still the exploitation and subjugation is still going on. But by the grace of God, as the youth and the people, they become aware of their condition, the exploitation and the subjugation, they will be able to flee from Babylon. Economically, they can flee from Babylon because Africa has resources. They can flee from Babylon. Spiritually, they have to flee from Babylon. And I'm glad that countries like Zambia, Kenya, Uganda, they have passed laws outlawing LGBTQ agenda in Africa. And the president of Zambia is very proud and is telling the Gentile leaders and the Gentile powers, including the Gentile United States, that LGBT is an anathema to God and his decree in the Bible. And so the president, a handsome man from Zambia, he doesn't want to be another man's wife. And so he's just saying that Babylon America can go to HELL. They can go to HELL. Yes, they can. They can free from Babylon. Even though for some time the Africans could not free from the spiritual subjugation of Babylon. And so at the time of independence, a lot of African leaders, they became members of secret societies, principally the Freemason, because that was the sorcery that was exported from the Gentile pagan nations to the African nations and the Caribbean nations. And so if you are not a member of the Freemason, you cannot be a prime minister of some countries. You cannot be president of some countries. After all, is it not the case where 15 out of 45 presidents of the United States are members of a secret society? Is that not the norm? Is that not the standard? Is America not the standard bearer? Can we free from Babylon? Can we free from the murder of Babylon? Can we free from the exploitation of Babylon? Can we free from the sorcery of Babylon? Can we free from sodomite policies and Noahite decrees of Babylon? The answer is that yes, we can. And we don't have a choice, because Revelation 18 verse 4 is very clear: flee from Babylon so that you do not partake of her sins and receive the plagues that are intended only for Babylon, oh, Babylon America. So the prophetic question is asked again: can we free from Babylon? And the answer is yes, we can. And we don't have any choice, because you have an obligation to flee from Babylon where you are, whether you are the president of Zambia, who is outside the jurisdiction of Babylon America. He can flee, and he has decided to flee from Babylon by saying that LGBT is inconsistent with African culture and is inconsistent with Christian culture. And so let the hypocrite Christians in Babylon accept LGBT. LGBT cannot be accepted and should not be accepted in in Africa. We are pledging our allegiance to the throne of the Most High. We are not pledging our allegiance to a heathen nation. Yes, we can. We can free from Babylon. Thank you, and watch the videos that are put in the description box. One is the video from Maryah Trumpet call, saying that yes, we can. We can free from Babylon. Even though there's a difference between the old Egypt and the new Babylon, but yes, you can. Yes, we can. So watch the video and entreat you to flee from Babylon, the sins of Babylon, the sins of America, rebellion, sorcery, murder, lies, theft, so that you do not receive the plagues that the Lord has decreed for his angels to pour on Babylon. Thank you.